Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Monday. Welcome, Dogecoin and crypto fans and lovers. Today we have got 12-cent Dogecoin recovering. Yes, it's a start. We're just getting started. Got a long ways to go for the full recovery and then onwards and upwards, but one step at a time. And this is good. This is good. So we are going to make slow and steady gains, not just all in one day, because the shorters will come and short it back down. We want this slow and steady gains. This is good. Hey, Dogecoin goes up 5% a day. I'll take that. I'll take that. 5% a day. Boom, 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 boom. Just keep it going. I like that. If you saw my video earlier today, I covered a lot of the news and what is going on behind this entire crypto run that we've had since yesterday, actually. I think it took a little bit for people to sort of process what happened on Saturday with Donald Trump and the assassination attempt. And then on Sunday, everyone was like, okay, got it. This is good. It's good for the markets, good for crypto. Let's go. And now we are going. We are recovering. And I know we're still down from where we were, but again, that's how markets go. They go up, they go down, and then they come back up. We'll talk about bear traps. We'll talk about rallies, support and resistance lines, wedges, channels, like all that stuff. We'll talk about all that. But I know there are a lot of you with cash, big amounts of cash, waiting for Dogecoin to drop even lower. And I warned you. I warned you, be careful with that. Because this is what can happen. An event that you don't expect could cause a big run up. And we haven't had a big run up, but you could have bought a lot more Dogecoin last week than today. 12 cents, hey, a couple months ago, 12 cents was pretty cheap. Now, this is where we are. So it all depends on what are you going to do about it now? Do you think Doge is going to keep going up from here? Or do you think we're going to be dipping again? And I know there's a lot of bears there who are probably just going to say, yeah, it'll probably just dip again. I'll wait. And you can wait and you can wait and you can wait. This is why dollar cost averaging works. The DCA method just works. You buy it, whatever. You don't get into that whole psychological thing. Could you get more Doge if you wait and you buy dips? Maybe. But you also might end up with less Doge. And then significantly less Doge if you keep waiting and waiting, waiting, and the price keeps going up and up and up, which can happen. We don't know that right now. But I mean, I hear it. I hear people, I read it in the comments. I read it on X Twitter, read it on Reddit. You don't overthink it. Don't overthink it, right? It's not that hard. We've been talking consistently for the past 2 years how to make money in crypto. And now we're right in the middle of it. And we're right on the cusp. We're right on the cusp of this huge thing. And if you haven't already been accumulating for the past 2 years, well, maybe you really don't want to make money in crypto. I don't know. I know some of you are just getting into crypto now. Some of you are just coming into money now. But that's the decision you have to make. is what are you going to do now, today? Don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. So that'll be a theme. And of course, let's go. My Tom Brady theme, right? Because that's what Tom would yell on the sidelines of the New England Patriots games. As soon as something started happening good, it's like, okay, let's go. Usually stuck the F word in the middle there, but I've always been a Tom Brady fan, and I like winning. Tom like winning. I like winning. I'm planning on winning. So, got a lot of news to cover, but I did want to give an overall update first of the markets. We'll check in the chat, and then we'll get to the news and all of that. So here's Dogecoin right now over 12 cents, of which I did tweet out. Doge reclaims 12 cents. And again, it's reclaiming, right? It's not like going to the moon yet. It's like reclaiming 12 cents. It's a start, right? It's a start. We zoom out to the 4-hour chart and we take a look and we're like, yes, this is nice, right? After the July 4th drop, it was dangerous, right? We were below 10 cents down here. I bought some Dogecoin down there, and I know some of you did. We talked about it last year. But this is a nice recovery. On the 4-hour chart, this is a nice recovery. Heading back up to 12.5 cents, which is this blue line. We're now up above the orange line, which was the base of my descending wedge. Yeah, this was a little scary here. But if you have conviction of what you've got and the bigger picture of where things are going, this should not have shaken you out and it should not have phased you. Of which, when we were live talking about this, many of you were just that. Strong conviction. This is a temporary drop. It'll turn back around. And that's what we're doing. Now, we go back to the daily and we see, yeah, we were much higher, 17 cents up to 22 cents. And this is just the start of a little recovery right there when you zoom out. So don't get overexcited yet. But this is the type of movement that signals the start of a recovery. And we got a ways to go. But this is good. But this is good. Bitcoin, 63,400. Very similar chart to Doge. And in fact, they're up just about the same amount. Again, Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart, very similar. The July 4th drop, all the way down to 53,700. And now we're at 63,000. Oh, we were just at 63.7. $10,000 recovery in the price of Bitcoin since the dip on the 4th. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. Everybody out there saying 50K, 40K Bitcoin, we're just like, no. Nope. When we go back to the daily, we look at the same thing. Bitcoin was a lot higher, up at 73,000. That's another $10,000 gain to get back up to 73. Overall, Bitcoin did not dip as much as Dogecoin did, percentage-wise, but Dogecoin can go on a run and can outperform Bitcoin coming back up. A lot of eyes on ETH and what's going to happen with these ETH ETFs. Are they starting up this week? What's going on? Everyone's being kind of quiet. Like, I didn't see any news today. What's going on? Because if everything was right today, exchanges should have been getting ready and tomorrow was going to start. And I heard a zero, nada on the ETH ETFs. So we wait. But ETH didn't drop very much either compared to like Doge. So ETH's holding up okay. A couple other things of note. Render is going through a change in their token from RNDR, $RNDR, to RENDER, render. And Coinbase is not supporting the migration. Coinbase is where we bought render. Coinbase is where I bought render. Had a 4x gain on render. Bought it at $1.45 a year ago. Sold render. Sold render on Saturday. Now, render is going up a bit here, right? But I was going to have to sell it anyway to get out of render because Coinbase is not doing the migration and I wasn't going to get stuck with useless RNDR tokens, nor for the Kriss DCA portfolio did we want worthless tokens, because I know there's some out there that still have Gala, the old Gala tokens from the V1 Gala. Again, Coinbase did not do the migration to the V2. And if you just sat there and did nothing with those V1 Gala tokens, they're now worthless. So the choice was you either transfer them off, right? Transfer them to a wallet, of which then you could transfer them somewhere else and do the migration, or you just sell. And there had been selling pressure happening with render, and I was kind of late to the game. I should have gotten out a little sooner. I didn't realize Coinbase was not going to be doing the migration. But what did I do about it? Well, I bought back into Stacks. And then here's Stacks' recovery. Zooming up because the SEC lawsuit against Stacks was pulled. The SEC is no longer investigating Stacks. And I had sold Stacks before with the threat of all this legal stuff. And it's like, okay, back in Stacks. So what did I do with the Kriss DCA portfolio? We are now in Stacks instead of render, and we're already up 13.5% on the Stacks that we have. It's our fourth largest holding. Book the profit on render. Render's probably going to do well with the new token, but again, Coinbase was not supporting the migration to the new token, and it was just like, we'll just book the profit and move on. We're back in Stacks now. So let's go. Let's go with Stacks. Look at that, up 40% over the past 7 days for Stacks. 40%. So that's all I did over the weekend. That was my change, was just selling the render and buying Stacks. Stacks is going to just take off. I am pretty sure about that. The other big news is Jasmy. Jasmy now turning around, coming back up towards 3 cents. And then Jasmy can start moving up and making its full recovery. Good start so far. Again, from the July 4th dip down below 2 cents. It's already recovered a full penny or 50% from 2 cents to 3 cents. So that's a big move for Jasmy there. Very positive, very bullish. Just today, up 13%. Just today for Jasmy. So that's the overall view. Let's get into the chat, and then we'll get to the news and other stuff going on. But yeah, this is a great chart for Doge. Just slow, steady, gradual gains. Those are the best. We'd like to see that. And cheers, everyone. This is the first beer that I've had in about a week and a half, because I wasn't drinking while I was sick last week. Doing much better, enjoying a beer on a nice recovery day. Cheers, everyone. All right. Let's check what's going on here. Hi, KB. How are you? Doge to the moon today, this week. Hey, Nate. How are you? Moving on up. I know. Even the earlier stream is even early. Hey, you guys got to be ready. Got to be subscribed. Got to have your notifications on. Like the stream. Just hit the like button. This is the place to be right now. Nothing else going on. Trump picked his VP. That's out there. We'll talk about that. So no reason to be anywhere else but here. Woohoo, Joe. Doge headed in the right direction. Slow and steady is great. That's what I say. Hola, amigo. Armando. Ron, how are you? A little more C and a little less saw. Agreed. There will be pullbacks still. Always happens. There are traders. Ryan's sitting tight. Even if it's below your average, you can add. Yes. Dollar cost, that's what dollar cost averaging is about. Bring your average down. Add a little more at a lower price. Like Matt did. Got my average down to 12 cents, hoping to get it lower. Well, with the current price over 12 cents, it might be tough to lower it because I don't know if we're going to be dipping down. A lot of us have been packed and ready to ride for a while. Mine's been 3.5 years. And I'm ready this time to take some profits. It's more about the coin count than it is about the average. And that's true, because you're not going to care so much whether your average is 10 cents, 11 cents, or 12 cents if Dogecoin's at $1. It's not going to matter. Too bad I'm not into Dodge Vipers. Yeah. Never have been a Dodge fan. That's okay. There's lots of different cars. We were talking about cars last live stream, so Matt's bringing that up. JD needs more Doge. Everybody needs more Doge. Mr. USA, how are you? Fall 2024 or spring, summer 2025? I'm guessing more it's going to be into the 2025 calendar year for Doge. I just think everything's just going to take a little longer than we think. Darth Mike, Bull Run is back on time. Pre-order that Bugatti. Yeah. I didn't remember BTT tokens having a migration. I never bought BTT. When all that BTT hype was going on back in 2021, I wasn't a believer. I wasn't falling for it. And it fell huge. A lot of people are talking about it, though. It was a big deal. You couldn't do that? Always have to have a drink in your hand? I was bad last week. I couldn't. I could barely breathe. And to drink alcohol and have that, congestion that's like all built up in your head, I couldn't do it. But we get through it and we live on for another day. Ryan, again, reminds everyone, smash the like button. Appreciate that. Hit the like, subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, we can talk about joining the channel and being part of the big Dogecoin giveaway, because I'm giving away Dogecoin. Giving it away. JD Vance makes a lot of sense. He's pro crypto from what I hear. He is a Bitcoin holder. So, and he could be the future of the Republican Party. I mean, that's how significant this vice president choice is. Trump wins, he would most likely be the lead nominee in 2028. So this is big. What do I think of taxes tokens, not SafeMoon? Yeah, I don't know what you're asking, Joseph. You have 30,000 Dogecoins at 9 cents. Is that good, Martin? Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Price is 12 cents now. You're up good. The local top pH, I mean, right now it's getting back to 13 cents. Watch my video this morning. Watch my video this morning. That's the 13-cent target. Taxed. You're drinking too. Good. I was like, yeah, who's talking about taxes? Now's not the time to talk about taxes. Well, I mean, it's always a good idea in the back of your head, like the render tokens that I sold, my personal stash of render tokens, I had held for over a year. So taking the profit on them here in the United States is a long-term capital gains tax. So I will pay less tax on that profit than the short term if I'd held them for less than a year. And that is significant. I mean, that can add up to like 10 to 15% of your profit you save by holding those coins for at least 1 year here in the United States. So yeah, I'm willing to take profits after holding for a year at this point. And render is my first one out of my own personal stash. But it was, again, forced because of the Coinbase not doing the migration. Now I could have kept the render tokens, or I could have transferred them to a wallet and then transferred them to an exchange that is doing the migration. But I was like, hey, I'm already up a 4x. I'm like, that's good. Now, is render going to go up another 2x or 3x? Maybe, but I think stacks will too. So then by buying stacks and riding that for the rest of this bull market, I feel good about that choice. I had stacks before, had it for a little while, and I booked the profit, but I booked it on a short-term capital gains tax. But then, because that's when I found out about the whole lawsuit thing, and I was just like, oh, I don't know about this. So I was doing that more for safety. But I'm back in now. Back in. Yeah, tokens that have the tax when you do a swap, that's not good. I mean, that was a big thing in the past years. And if you really wanted to get into one of these tokens, I mean, SafeMoon was kind of one of the big obvious ones, but there were a lot of others that were doing the same thing. And that just puts more tokens into the pockets of the developers. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. There's enough other crypto projects out there. Personally, I'm not doing that again. I made money on SafeMoon. I got out before the shit really hit the fan. So I made profit on that one. Made profit on a couple of others of those tokens back then and lost on one or two of them. In the end, best to just get out of it. I'm going to give the IRS a bunch of money next year. Yep. A lot of us are. And a lot of us aren't, well, I'll say a lot of you aren't ready yet because you haven't been keeping track of all of your crypto purchases, your swaps, your sales. You got to do that. We'll have a big discussion about it come December time again. But right now, my advice is figure out how you're going to keep track of everything, particularly if you're doing some DeFi stuff. It's like, how are you going to account for all that? How are you going to log it? How are you going to track it all? I like Michael Saylor's take on taxes. Lost it on a boating accident. Right? We'll see how well that goes over when you've got the auditor knocking on your door, right? The IRS auditor shows up to like, let's talk about your crypto. Right. Hey, Jay, how are you? Samuels? Do I think we're up because of the weekend event? Yes, I do. Yeah, I think it took a day for investors, particularly, to sort of figure out what this meant. And I think most on Sunday saw this as being bullish for the markets, bullish for crypto, and that's when the buying started, was Sunday afternoon, and it hasn't stopped. It has just continued. We have the German government not selling anymore. That's behind us now. There's no more of all that Bitcoin selling by the German government, which took us down. So there would naturally be a recovery from that anyway. So this is all good. This is all good. Again, we're just getting started. We've got a long ways to go. Where Doge can go, Kriss, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. It took Trash Tokens about 10 minutes. I don't know what you mean. Oh, you mean the Trump-related tokens? Yeah. Of course, those were going to pump. I don't follow those. But I get why people do. Yeah, whatever. Again, I don't play that game. Whatever percentage. There's always risk in that too. But if you're playing that game and you're in it, great. Right? Good luck. They just don't do anything. So I'm like, whatever. Here today, that Mt. Gox FUD could be nothing a burger. My understanding is that they were actually sending out Bitcoin, and that process had already started. There were already quite a few related to certain exchanges that have already received their Bitcoin from 10 years ago. So they're getting the actual Bitcoin. It's not what what FTX is doing. So that's what I read. So it's different. The hit here, I transferred a lot of crypto onto Ledger that I bought on Voyager and FTX. Didn't keep a track record of it back then. Not sure what to do about taxes now when I sell. You're going to have to make something up the best you can of when you bought it. You're just going to have to do the best you can. Just try and think back, put a spreadsheet together, and make the best guesses you can about when you bought it and what the prices were on those dates. Because you ain't getting nothing from FTX. You ain't getting nothing from Voyager. Check your old emails, deleted emails, right? That may have sent you, congratulations, you bought, this many coins on this date. Just go through your old emails, see if there's something there that, that the exchange might have emailed you during those purchases. So try that. All right, let's get into the news. So we have pro-crypto Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance being Donald Trump's vice president pick. Hot off the presses right before the stream started. Trump said that the Ohio senator will be strongly focused on the people he fought so brilliantly for, the American workers and farmers. It is a great move, in my opinion. It's a great move for Trump. Strong ticket. Not much negative about him. He actually used to speak out against Trump. And then he realized that maybe Trump isn't so bad. Some of you may be anti-Trump. I get that. But right now, for the Republican Party, particularly for finances and crypto, this is good. This is good. It'll be interesting to hear what Donald Trump has to say at the Bitcoin conference in a couple of weeks. He is still planning on attending. He is still planning on making a speech at a Bitcoin conference. That's going to be huge. I'm not expecting much crypto talk this week at the Republican National Convention. That's not really on the agenda here. There's so many bigger things for the country that need to be talked about. But if there are any speeches or anything about the huge debt that the United States has and how we can get out of that debt, Bitcoin may show up in that conversation. But, CoinDesk is saying pro-crypto Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. So the only thing I had seen is that he actually holds some Bitcoin. But what does that mean by pro-crypto? I don't know. Was he involved in any of the legislation that's been put forward by some of the other Congress people about crypto? I don't know. But this is good. Failed assassination on Trump triggers massive crypto gains. So following up on someone's question here, whether the events of the weekend or the event actually did trigger this move up, and I say yes. And Coinpedia is pretty much saying the same thing. Bitcoin suddenly broke through resistance, surged past 60K. Trump-themed meme coins saw significant pumps. So yeah, that a lot of this turnaround here. Again, part of it is coming after 2 weeks of the German government selling Bitcoin, all of the FUD about Mt. Gox. There was more grayscale selling of the spot Bitcoin ETF, although the end of last week that started to turn around, which was good for the markets. And now looking, starting on Sunday, it was like, okay, let's go. And so we have that with a big move back up in the price. And we are seeing that recovery start now. Got a long ways to go, but good start. Bitcoin flies over 63,000. Again, Bitcoin has gone up $10,000 a Bitcoin since the bottom of the dip on July 4th. So in a week and a half, that's pretty good. We also have liquidations happening. And I showed that on my video this morning, that there was a target price to bring Bitcoin up to in order to liquidate a huge short seller position of over $9 million in one trade. And somehow the Bitcoin price just magically found its way to that number. Liquidated that short seller, and then Bitcoin went down a little bit, but then recovered back up as just general trading. And the bear trap, this was Peter Brandt saying bear trap, and this is what we were talking about last week, was, are we in a position where Bitcoin's going to go lower, it's going to recover and go up higher? And, from my chart, I was predicting higher. Some of you were bears. Some of you were bears saying prices are going to drop lower, Bitcoin to 40K, Doge to 8 cents. I don't know what to say, but that was the bear trap. And so that's what Peter Brandt was basically saying was, yep, those that thought a correction down to 50K or below on Bitcoin, stuck in that bear trap. The price is now heading up, could be heading up to 90,000 now. I'll show you a chart on that in a minute. Market turning around. Unfortunately, that July 4th was the bottom here for this year, but that's how it worked out. We also have crypto stocks surging. That's right. What happened when the pre-market opened up last night is you had MicroStrategy, you had Coinbase starting to go up already. And what did we see MicroStrategy do today? Well, here's Coinbase. Coinbase ended up 11.5%. So this was the big jump this morning when trading started for Coinbase. And then we had MicroStrategy doing the same, and then trading up over $1,600 a share for MicroStrategy, up over 15% on the day for MicroStrategy. And I was telling you guys, I bought some MicroStrategy about 2 weeks ago, before it was announced that MicroStrategy was going to be having a 10-to-1 stock split, which is coming up at the end of the month or beginning of August. very bullish. So not only crypto itself, but also crypto-related stocks going up. Going up. So what does this mean? Well, here's Bitcoin Archive saying, look, Bitcoin just crossed the 200-day moving average. The last time it did this, Bitcoin surged 170%. So what happened today? Bitcoin crossed over the 200-day moving average. This was yesterday, right there. Right there. That white line is the 200-day moving average. Crosses over it. Could that be the beginning of this big run? So one of the things I was talking about in the video this morning is, do we have what they're calling a left translated cycle, meaning the Bitcoin spot ETF sort of got a lot more new investments into crypto than we would normally have seen on the 4-year cycles, and that we're ahead of where we actually should have been at this point. Maybe. And the retrace that we saw from end of March to July 4th just reset everything back to maybe where trading should have been, and now we can go. We'll see how that plays out. But for those that are watching technical analysis and you believe in these lines, like the 200-day moving average, when crypto crosses over it, it could signal a big run. Also, Tiny Crypto says V-shaped recovery in progress. The Wyckoff reaccumulation schematic 1 seems to be playing out. So for those who are following Wyckoff, we just went through that point on that dip, which is the spring point before the first leg up, followed by the second and then the third, which sends Bitcoin higher. Who's been accumulating over the past couple months? This was the accumulation. This was your chance. Got faked out by the earlier run, even on Dogecoin, right? Faked out by 22-cent Dogecoin. So Dogecoin very conveniently comes all the way down to 10 cents to allow you to buy more at a lower price before going higher. Let's go. Let's go. Wyckoff accumulation playing out on Bitcoin. For those that follow those things, this seems to be the spring point that we just had a week and a half ago. So for Dogecoin, to have capital is like, let's look at the cycles. We look at these cycles, right? How many days until the real pump starts? His charts aren't the easiest to read, so I found another chart, a little bit easier to read. Crypto Sahint. We've had 2 huge run-ups in the price of Dogecoin. We had one in 2017. It did like a double run. 2021, we had the initial run followed by a second run. So also a double run. This is on a logarithmic scale, not a straight price scale. But January 2021, when Doge went from about a penny up to 8 cents was big percentage-wise. And then when Doge went from 5 cents all the way up to 73 cents, that wasn't as big percentage-wise as the 1 to 8, but still double pump. So did we have in March, did we already have that first pump? Wasn't really huge though, right? That wasn't, I mean, it got us up to 22 cents, but was that huge? I don't know. But that next pump, what's it going to be? When's it going to happen? That's going to be the huge let's go. That's when Kriss is going to be having marathon live streams, watching that happen. Not time yet, but that will come. Meanwhile, Dogecoin trading 13% higher over the last 7 days. And in fact, it's gone up even more now. Let's get the latest. On 7 days for Doge, up 14.2%. Dogecoin up 14.2%. Doge is actually could be threatening Toncoin again for 8th place. Last week, we had Cardano kind of catching up to Doge, but over the past day, Doge is up over 8%, Cardano right about 1%. So Doge is like making its move now, much bigger than Cardano, and Tunnel only up 3%. So we could have Doge flip back over Toncoin. Dogecoin priced to 51 cents with Elon Musk's support for Donald Trump. So Elon has now officially endorsed Donald Trump for president in this upcoming election. What does that mean for Dogecoin? Yeah, not really much exactly. Crypto Tony is like, I am in long as of 10.2 cent Doge. So he was buying in the low 10s. And now we're in the 12s. It does not mean that Doge is out of the danger zone, especially if Bitcoin slips back below 60K, which still could happen. Indeed, the bulls would now like to look to flip the 200-day moving averages, both of which are at the 13-cent mark. So we looked at Bitcoin being over the 200-day moving average for Bitcoin. Dogecoins is up here still at 13 cents. So for those asking me, what is going to be Dogecoin's price in this run? The target is 13 cents. That is where the 200-day moving average is. And it's also conveniently my price prediction for Doge for July. Just it also happens to be 13 cents. Coincidence? Maybe not. And we're only halfway through the month. So we got a long ways to go. And we have this Bitcoin conference coming up later in the month, which just could take Bitcoin to the moon. Now, in Bitcoin conferences past, we've actually seen the price of Bitcoin retrace or decline during the Bitcoin conferences. This one might be different. This one might be different. You have the leading presidential candidate slated to give a speech at the Bitcoin conference. And he previously said last month he wants the most, if not all, remaining Bitcoin to be mined in the United States. He met with miners, the big mining companies. He wants United States to be leaders in blockchain technology and Bitcoin. That's huge. And then Elon can come along with Doge on X payments as a currency. Sure, it all works. Can Dogecoin hit new highs again? Price prediction based on 2021 patterns. Again, very similar to the pattern we looked at here. The big run up late 2020 into May of 2021, that big run up. Could we see that again? And of course, yes. According to recent analysis by Sentiment, the number of 24-hour active addresses for Dogecoin has dropped a little bit. The network activity mirrors that, though, of March 2020, just 9 months before Dogecoin skyrocketed between January and May. So are we still that far away from when the huge run on Dogecoin is going to happen? Possibly. It could be in 2025. It could take that long for things to happen. $0.13 appears to be the next price target for Dogecoin. I don't know where they're getting that number because that's my number, but other people are saying it too. And I didn't get it from them because I said it back at the end of June, beginning of July, where 13 cents is the price target, which was in my July price prediction video and also has been on my chart for 2 weeks. That white line right there, that was my sketch that I made on July 1st. So for those who are saying Kriss's predictions are always wrong, well, so far, it was right on in April. No, it was right on in May. Little off in June, but so far, pretty close in July. The actual price just dipped a little more than I thought. I knew there would be a dip. I drew a dip. I thought we would hold 11.5 cents. But that's what we got. So what's going on? We have more liquidations happening all the time. Over 24 hours, there's been $70 million in Bitcoin liquidations. Doge hasn't been too bad, about 1.8 million. There haven't been as many big bets on Dogecoin, either long or short on leverage, that got liquidated. But we do see some big ones. We hit the $1 million ones, and we see XBT. I don't know who's gambling on XBT, but somebody just lost $1 million about an hour ago. We had a $1.5 million Bitcoin at noon hour today. And then this is the one that I highlighted in my video this morning at a price of $63,400, $9.3 million bet on a short, got liquidated. That's what we saw. So that's what's going on liquidations, and they continue to happen. Even these small ones. Phantom, someone just lost $2,000. Another one on Phantom just lost $1,000. Near, someone lost $7,000. And those are all shorts. that are getting squeezed out. So, you guys know what I say about leverage trading, short trading. They see your bets. They know what you're doing. There's nothing anonymous behind it. Someone just lost $16,000 on AXS. Turbo, $3,400 on a short. Somebody shorting Turbo. It's like, God. And this is all happening right now. Prices are still going up. Here's Doge up to 1227 now. Bitcoin slowing down a little. ETH just about touching my 3450 resistance line. Somebody asked about Jasmy. Here's Jasmy. Just about ready to hit 3 cents for Jasmy. Nice run for Jasmy. Up 13% for the day. Targeting 3 cents. We're at 2.97. So close. Pepe dropped to 0. Did it at noon today. We zoom out on the Pepe chart. So here, Pepe dropped to 0 late this morning. So Pepe seeing recovery as well. Overall on the crypto bubbles, obviously everything in the green. We've got PopCat now in the top 100. PopCat. How about that? $728 million market cap for PopCat. MOG. Yeah, Jasmy, 21.3 over 24 hours. The trading view is as of 8 o'clock last night. Trading view always starts and stops at 0 UTC, 8 o'clock my time, East Coast time. So it's 14% from 8 o'clock last night. But yes, 21% over the last 24 hours. Yes, Olaf. MOG up 22. PopCat 27. Pepe 22. Floki 23. Whiff 22. Brett up 19. The first 6 months of 2024, the narrative was memes. It's not stopping in July. We did see big drops. I mean, the memes did drop a lot more than Bitcoin and the other big alts. But look at them just turn around and come back up. Big percentage. And yes, Kisan, I think SHIB, and I've been saying this for a long time, but I think this fall, at some point in time, SHIB is just going to go on a huge run. That pump is going to happen. The momentum will be there. And once it starts moving, you're going to get a lot of people buying in and being part of the ride. Yep, that's what we see. See if we can Doge up to 12.5 cents. That'd be awesome. What's up, Hiram? How are you? Mars, you made it? Anybody here going to the convention in Nashville? I'm not going. One of these days I'm going to go. One of these years I'm going to go. But This is not the year. Is the conference going to be online? There will be stuff that happens online. And there'll be a lot of people there who will be doing highlights. We'll see how much actually gets broadcast. Once Bitcoin gets to 73, the huge short positions that didn't get liquidated before, that are older shorts, yes, that could kick off a huge squeeze. Big liquidity at 72K. Yeah, Damien, right up there. It's going to be big. Military Jock saying September for the big moon. We'll see. That's what they usually do. Sell and drop it low enough to make you think it's going to 8 cents or lower. There were a lot of bears. There were a lot. Even last week, we still had bears in the chat, convinced Doge was going to 8 cents, 7 cents. I don't hear them today. If all the Bitcoin gets mined in America, then it's not decentralized. Better in the long run for Bitcoin than no country. It's not the country, though. It's the mining companies, right? That's what Trump meant. It's American mining companies. It's not the US government that is mining the Bitcoin. But Riot and Marathon, Clean Spark, right? These big mining companies, American-based, that's what he wants to support. Is the American-based companies getting that Bitcoin. Now, there's a rumor that China is going to unban Bitcoin again this fall. We'll see. Yeah, don't be like Alex. Exactly. I remember Alex. Average is 13 cents now. Average down from 35. Nice. You're going to be green, Joe. Not too long. You're going to be in the green. Smell the moon dust. Jasmy, price targets, Olaf. I'm still looking at 30 cents. I'm looking at 30 cents. So that's a 10x from here for Jasmy. I may be taking some profits before then, but not entirely. Again, this fall, we'll be talking about taking profits, layering out, looking at what levels to begin to start to take some profits. Just in case there's some, black swan event that comes out of nowhere, you'll have already at least maybe taken some profit. But that's a story for another day. What's up, Bull Run? Still feeling a little bearish? Or you're just reminding people? Because I'm not feeling bearish right now. I'm not feeling bearish. Never forget Alex. I remember that. So convinced that shorting Dogecoin was the thing to do. Oh my God. But if you didn't hear Bull Run, I sold Render and I bought Stacks. So I'm a Stacks holder again. Back in the Stacks game. Bigly into the Stacks game. And already up 15% on my Stacks position. Well, 14%. Because I bought it down here on Sunday. Get your note out of the way. I bought it down here on Sunday. And then boom. And I was like, yep, that was a good play. That was a good play. Will Render do well going forward? Yeah, probably. But Coinbase was not going to do the migration to the new Render token. So I was going to have to sell it anyway. Because I only trade on Robinhood and Coinbase. Probably could have transferred it over to crypto.com because they will be doing the migration. But I was like, I already made a 4x, so I'll book the profit on the Render, and I wanted to get back into stacks. So you're still holding your stacks? Awesome. Yep. So I had taken profit last year on stacks, which was decent profit. But then there was all that threat of lawsuits and going on, but now that's gone. So another one. Let's go. Let's go. Which token big on for ERC20, SHIB or Pepe? I own both. And I'm proud to say that, Ballrun. Now I can say that. I own both SHIB and Pepe. I own more SHIB because I had accumulated SHIB from the year before. And I'm up bigly on the SHIB. Pepe, I'm actually still a little bit down on. Here's the Pepe chart. This blue line right here, 10.9 is my average, this light blue line on Pepe. And now it's at 10.76. So it's almost back to my average on Pepe. But I got into Pepe late. But Bullrun is happy with me that I am now a Pepe holder. And Aesthetic Cars, great call on buying the 9-cent dip. Again, I got it at 9.95 because that was what I set a limit order at, and it dipped, down to 9.7, almost 9.6. So some people got it even a little lower, but I tend to just set limit orders at prices that I see could happen, and I set it and I forget it. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it didn't. That Doge one hit at 9.95. And now that we're at 12.24, that 9.95 back over here is looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. Pepe to the moon. You know what I'd like to happen? I would like all crypto to go to the moon. I want everybody to get rich on everything. That's what I'd like to see. This crypto run coming through the rest of this fall to be so epic that everything goes up 10x and everybody gets wealthy who's in the game now. That's what I'd like to happen. Realistically, but I don't want one to do better than the other if that means that one of you guys isn't going to get rich. I want everybody to get rich. 10x, everybody. Yes, Ryan, 10x. $1.20 Dogecoin. Sure. Let's do it. 10x. Yes. Big pockets. The chances of me still holding all of my Dogecoin when it gets to $1 is pretty slim. I will be skimming some profits on the way in, just in case. I do not have 100% conviction that Dogecoin is going to make it to $1. Sorry, but that's just, it's the realism in me. That dollar Dogecoin is going to be so hard. Sedekar says $1.20. So getting over $1 though, there's going to be such massive selling. 96 cents, 97, 98 cents, people thinking just like me, it's going to be hard to break $1. So big profit taking will be happening. But if the event that causes that big run up is big enough, like Doge on X payments, something like that, Doge getting over $1 is inevitable. For now, we can enjoy these nice, slow, steady gains. This is much better and healthier for Dogecoin because it means there's less chance of a giant drop. Every time we get this huge spike up in Dogecoin, it ends up just coming right back down. So I'll take these smaller green candles, but consistently green after green after green. I like that. That is better. You're cheering for Pepe the most? I know. Isn't it amazing how you can put a decent amount in and then it becomes your biggest holding because it does something like a 60x. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow. That was mine with Jasmy. Almost a 10x on Jasmy. And it's just like, okay, Jasmy is now one of my bigger holdings. And it wasn't when I first bought it. That can happen. Pete the Dragon, money. Kennedy said Dogecoin will hit $1 because it's so hard. Dollar gets devalued by about 7% per year. So you can probably do the math to figure out. Yeah, that's slowing down though. I mean, we had some bad years, but that seems to be more getting closer to the 3.5 cent per year range now. But there's still huge debt. I don't know if a Trump administration is going to even begin to tackle that and what to do with that huge problem. But the overspending has got to get cut back. Imagine a world where X payments drives Doge high enough that other payment platforms are compelled to adopt it. Yes, indeed, Tim. I mean, if it is being used on X, I mean, as it's like a full integration, you're going to have so much more adoption of Dogecoin that will follow because people will want to make money off it. Yes. And everybody's accepting Dogecoin. Elon's getting into politics now, doing a good job. Kind of start liking him now. Next thing you know, you're going to want to buy a Tesla, right? And start attending like SpaceX rocket launches and be all googly-eyed for Elon. Yep. Well, certainly over the weekend, with all the news that was going on, tuning into X, X Twitter, and reading what was going on was a lot easier and more credible to do than watching CNN or MSNBC. I mean, that was just pitiful coverage for what used to be the go-to, major news networks. And you can't get a straight report from them. But it was all happening on X. Now, it does tend to lean a little bit more to the right. Yes, I will grant that. But they put up all the video as it happens. And the video's there. The video doesn't lie. Non-edited video, and then you make up your own mind of what you think of it. Overall, we had failed assassination on Trump triggers massive crypto gains, and we're seeing it. This is the follow-up that's happening. We saw it with stocks. We saw it with crypto. Bullish for the markets. I know all the alleged stuff, right? Rights levels, right? And yes, as Jimmy reminds us, patience. Yep. It is patience again. But we were patient all through May, all through June. We were patient. We're now in July. And we're like, all right, we're starting to see some movement now. But yes, coming soon. We had some other movers. We had some other movers today. Hedera, H-bar is making a nice move this afternoon. The Bone token had a big run this morning, earlier this afternoon. Sheeb, a little bit. What were the other big movers? Render is actually moving again after a big drop. The graph back up over 20 cents, now 21 for those that follow the graph. Stacks, as we talked about, now kind of evening out. Fetch AI, which is now this artificial super intelligence thing, making a good move today. And Jasmy just hit 3 cents, guys. There it is. Jasmy, 3 cents. Let's go. Let's go. You still here, Olav? Yeah, that was Olav who was asking about Jasmy. Are you still here? Look at the chart. 3 cent Jasmy. Nice. Jasmy reclaims 3 cents. Is huge. Jasmy's use as a token on this whole storage Internet of Things locker thing that is being tied in with the Apple iPhone potentially huge. There you are, Olaf. Look at that, 3 cents. Nice. Hey, Ryan, how are you? Yep, let's go, Jasmy. And it's not stopping. Not stopping. Let's see what Crypto Bubble says Jasmy is now. 23.5% on the day. 23.5. Nice. Amazing to think a few inches the wrong way could have been a different conversation. Isn't that amazing? But that's the world. That's how the whole world works, right? Make one wrong turn and you'll have a completely different life. Have you or any other YouTubers put out a guide you'd recommend for migrating Render and FET from Coinbase to their new tokens? I haven't. For me, it's you sell. You sell, and then you buy the new token back once it's on there. Hopefully you get it on a dip and you get maybe as much as you had, but at a lower price. That's about it. I mean, you have to find a different exchange that does the migration and transfer over. Like Crypto.com was doing the render migration. So I could have transferred from the render from Coinbase to Crypto.com, and they would take care of the migration for you. Could have done that. I just decided I already had a 4x profit on render. So I booked it. That was my choice. Nothing wrong with taking profits, especially when it's a 4x. We even did better on the Kriss DCA portfolio because we bought it at $1.45 and I sold it at 6.2. So that was about a 4.5x. My personal was about 4x. The Kriss DCA portfolio was even better. And look at this portfolio now. Let me refresh this. Yes, 22,300 now. Remember, this was down to 19. Well, not only is it back up over 20, it's now at 22. So yeah, here's Jasmy back up over 3 cents. Here's the stacks that we just bought yesterday. Up bigly on the Bitcoin, ETH, SHIB, and Algorand, because our Algorand average is 10 cents here. That was a great price for Algo. Bull Run thinks Algo's going to be going on a run. You wouldn't be buying it if you didn't think so. Yeah, I had sold the Fetch AI that I had last year for profit before this super intelligence thing was even out there. Look at Jasmy go. Whew. Sorry, you guys, if you're not invested in Jasmy, but I've been talking about Jasmy for a long time now. And I have a good chunk of it, so I'm very excited about this. And it also helps our Kriss YouTube portfolio because we've got a little chunk of Jasmy in there as well. So I will take the pump. So Jasmy tokens, I am at 3 million. Got 3 million Jasmy tokens. How about you, Olaf? I'm assuming you've got a bag. But yeah, to buy them at 0.0036, I spent about $10,000, almost $11,000 last year. And now it's over $90,000. So from 10,000 to 90,000. And I'm not even thinking of selling. 2.4 mil, nice. Yeah, my average is 0.0036. And the average we have here for the Kriss portfolio is, yeah, same 0.00366. So yeah, it's our second biggest holding now in the Kriss DCA portfolio is Jasmy. $3.09. It just keeps going up. $3.10. It's just not stopping. Doge hanging out, 1228. Doge is hanging out, but the action is right now down here on Jasmy. This is where the action is now. Sweet, sweet. See what's going on with Jasmy. Insights into Jasmy's future growth from Binance. Apple partnership speculations. Jasmy pump unstoppable. Jasmy price surge. Jasmy price pumped. Binance is like printing big Jasmy stuff. Jasmy, the number 5 coin on best performing cryptocurrencies to date is Jasmy, number 5. After WIF, Pepe, what used to be Fetch, which is now artificial superintelligence, Floki, then Jasmy, number 5. See what Matthew says. My outlook for Jasmy has not changed, substantially higher in the short and medium term. Not really clear. I mean, was he calling for Jasmy to come all the way back down to 1.5 cents before going to 6 cents? That looks like his target is 6 cents here in October. Yeah, and as Josh says here, I wouldn't describe 6 cents in October as substantial. And I agree with Josh here. That's not substantial. I agree. Not a fan of that chart there. Send it. Good stuff for Jasmy. Doge to the moon. You sold your Jasmy for H-bar. Hedera's doing great today. We just looked at that. That's pretty sweet. Real Doge to $3.50. As D calls it, the moon. The moon. Yeah, Ron, but I let people dream. Not realistic this cycle, but people can dream. All depends on what happens. X Payments got their state of California money transmitter license. If you didn't see my video this morning, or you weren't on the live stream last Friday when I announced it, they got California. They still need New York. They still need 17 others. But they got Cali. That was one of the big ones, Elon said. So X Payments getting closer. Yes, California. Yeah, Elon needs to wake up. He needs to do something. I think he knows. I think he's got it figured out. Having run PayPal before, he knows how it works with online money. But I think he's going to deal with it with fiat at first. Again, as I said before, I think if he had started with an online token like Dogecoin, his and his engineers' lives would have been so much easier, because one Doge equals one Doge no matter where you are in the world. But with fiat, he's going to have to deal with all the different exchange or exchanging money from one currency to a different currency. If it's truly meant to be borderless international payments to payments. I don't know how that's going to work with fiat. But with Doge, it's easy. You just send the Doge. Right, and that's what I've been saying, bull run. X Payments is going to take a while. Yep. I didn't think that it would get done this summer. Elon's time estimates have never been very accurate. You could almost double the length of time of however long he thinks it's going to take to what it actually ends up taking. You can probably double it. Are you a SNEC van, Pacali? I have not looked at SNEC in a long time. I'm interested in it because it's on Cardano. It's been recovering with everything else since July 4th. It's up as well. But everything else is coming back up too. It's up 50%. Pretty decent. Pretty decent for SNEC. I would love to see SNEC just go crazy, because I've got a bag of Cardano and I want to see Cardano run. So if SNEC can get back up here to like 002, double again in price, get back up where it was here in March, awesome. Let's do it. I'd like to see that. This is not a bad looking chart, actually. The SNEC chart. That's not a bad looking chart. We had the initial big run here back in December. And then, as memes do, right, you get the profit taking. Price comes all the way back down. Gain is zero back. Everything was pumping late February, early March. All the memes were. And then everything dropped after that. But SNEC held pretty well. Look at that. It actually held its price pretty well. So This could be pretty good, Bakali. This could be pretty good. A good close for Doge today. I don't think it's going to go up much higher for today. I think we're just about there. Seems to be topping out here, the 1220 range. That's my guess. I just kind of get the feeling that it's tiring out a little bit from the long run, which is okay. The good thing with X starting with fiat, they may be more likely to onboard those who don't trust crypto yet. Partially, yes. Partially, security is going to be like number one. Anything dealing with money online. And a lot of scammers out there dealing with crypto. And that's just going to be hard for some people. We'll see how that plays out. If Doge goes to 350, you can buy a Yugo. Yeah, that's not happening, bull run. You're not going to get $44,000 Bitcoin again. I just don't see that ever happening. Not where we are today. We just withstood all of that, German selling of Bitcoin with the Mt. Gox FUD, with the Grayscale selling from the spot ETF. And Bitcoin, at the lowest it went was 54. And now it's up almost to 64. So 44, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. Just jonesing, welcome. How you doing? $100,000 Bitcoin by December. Yeah, that was the chart that I showed in this morning's video, showing how Bitcoin could make it to 100K by the end of December. Exciting times ahead. If Doge could have a little push up into the 1230s over the next couple hours, that'd be awesome. Just a little more of a push into the daily close. Bullish. Yes. I know, never say never, but ADA for this year. Good question. Well, if we look at Bitcoin and we say, look on the daily, Bitcoin made it to $73,000, right, in March. What was Cardano then? Cardano made it up to 80 cents. 80-cent Cardano. So Cardano has fallen at a bigger percentage since then, right? Because Cardano went all the way down to 40 cents. So it halved in price from its yearly high. Went from 80 cents to 40 cents. It went a little bit lower. Let's just call it 40 cents. It cut in half. If Bitcoin had cut in half from 73 it would have been all the way down to 37. And it didn't do that. Bitcoin did not drop that low. So how high can Cardano go? How high can ADA go? Well, if Bitcoin goes to 100,000 from here, it's not a 2x, but it's more than its previous high. Or Cardano would need to do a 2x just to get back to where it was in March. If it's truly going to be an alt season and altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin starting this fall, we could see Cardano getting close to $1. But I think it would have a hard time doing more than that this year. Now into 2025, the bull run continues, then yes, we could see Cardano well over $1. But I don't think we're going to be seeing $3 Cardano. I don't think so. But you never know. The new Chang hard fork, if they get more adoption, get more memes. I mean, we were just looking at the SNEC chart. Like if there's other memes that get built on Cardano and Cardano starts getting a lot more value, a lot more transactions happening. I mean, a lot of Solana's transactions are kind of faked. Of course, there was the big meme run happening on Solana. So that's a lot of the activity on Solana are just those memes. But it is use. It is something. But that's what I would see for Cardano. See, we're not just a Doge channel. We do other cryptocurrencies and finance stuff, if you're interested. We also talk about stories. So story time, I did have one, and that's this one. I got laid off from my software engineering job last year, put everything I had into Bitcoin and crypto stocks from then until December. Still no job, but now have mid 6 figures in crypto and crypto stocks. My unemployment funds have 1 month's worth of expenses left. I still need to pay for health insurance. I've applied to a bunch of grocery stores nearby, no luck yet. Software engineering job search. I'll do whatever it takes to not have to touch my crypto. I want to use it to escape this rat race life so I don't have to worry about jobs again. So a true believer in crypto price going up. Yeah, crypto stocks. Coinbase, MicroStrategy, Riot, Mara, CleanSpark, they've all done huge. They've all done huge. So he probably owns some of those. I have Coinbase. I have MicroStrategy. Doing very well. Again, that's on Webull. Again, I had money on Webull that they were getting rid of crypto trading on the Webull platform and they were moving it over to Webull Pay. And I wasn't going to mess with that. So I sold whatever I had on Webull and I bought more stock. So I've got my Tesla stock. I've got MicroStrategy. Yeah, that's what I meant, Ryan. That's what I meant this to mean, is crypto stocks, is that. Not a bad play. That's where the money has been. That's where the biggest gains have been. That and NVIDIA have been the biggest gains in the stock market. So good play. The guy doesn't want to touch his crypto, but he's running out of money. He better find that job soon. Is it written by AI? I don't know if these coinfessions are all real or not. I just take them for what they are. It's a good story, right? It's a good story, but if he's got to start dipping into his crypto and selling in order to be paying bills, not a great way to build wealth, but you do have to have a good job. You got to have that, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever paycheck coming in. Because he's probably stressed out and freaking out now. But yeah, that's story time for today. If you want to get ahead, hold on for as long as you can. Are we going to see, especially this fall, the banana zone begin in crypto? Are we going to see that? I don't know. As I thought, looked like momentum was starting to die down a little bit. But this could still reverse. Tim has taken out 2 loans. Not financial advice. He puts in all caps. Firmly believe this is the cycle that will make or break it. So yeah, definitely not recommended to do what Tim did. It's a gamble. It's a big risk. I've taken somewhat of a risk myself, but it's more on the safe side, what I've done. And I'll talk about it next year. I'm not going to talk about it now because I don't want to influence anybody to do something crazy. So I'm not talking about it, but I did do something in order to get in this position to ride out this particular crypto market. And we'll see how it goes. Yep, got to have steady income coming in besides crypto. So, yep, that's what you've got to. I mean, that you got to have something that pays the bills, because crypto won't pay the bills if you actually want to use it to build wealth, because then you're using it. A kidney, a house. You would if you had one, Fuzzball? If you had a house, you would just sell it, put it all into crypto? Crazier things have been done. There are a lot of early Bitcoin people that risked it all to buy Bitcoin when it was really cheap, and now they're like multi-millionaires. Are we too late for that kind of wealth? Maybe. But we don't know. Where Wei sold his car for more Doge. Riding your bike everywhere now, right? All over Chicago. Might not work as well in the wintertime. Kind of tougher to get around Chicago in the wintertime on a bike. Hopefully you're near an L station somewhere, you can, in the city, you can get around. I don't know exactly where you live in Chicago, but yep. If you don't need the car, Fuzzball probably needs his car. Thank God you didn't have to sell anything. Yep, just extra money on the side, and you just keep investing, right? I've got my side businesses, which help. On a monthly basis, I get this extra money that's outside of my salary. And that helps a lot. Yeah, I have rethought getting an electric car way. Too many stories of batteries just freezing, electric cars having a tough time starting up, and then the batteries don't last very long in the cold weather. I'm rethinking the whole getting a Tesla, at least here, if I'm going to stay in Boston, which most likely I am. Oh, Ryan, aren't you special? You're getting text from JD Vance. I think you're special. He's pro crypto. That's what CoinDesk said. That JD Vance is pro crypto. I'll be interested in hearing what he has to say when he does his speech. I want to hear what JD has to say. Because now he is big time for the future of this country. It's a big position. It's bigger than Mike Pence's, because Trump only has one term. And most likely, if Trump wins and JD is the vice president, then he'll be pushing for the presidency in 2028. You got a 2011 Beamer reconstructed. Good luck. Hope you get a good price for it. Yeah, Tony, I do hear that. They're making advancements. Used Teslas are like, the prices are so cheap now. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants them. I would never buy one. A used Tesla? No, thank you. I think there's only so much Trump can do. There will still be two parties. The Democrats will come along in 4 years and hopefully have somebody new who can ignite the party like Obama did, back in 2008. That's what the Democratic Party would need. Would be someone like that. And it's just the way the United States is set up. It's just too big of a two-party system, and there's not going to be a third party. Independent candidates just don't have a chance. I mean, poor Bobby Kennedy Jr. just doesn't have a chance. I mean, he's got a voice. He can be heard, but an actual realistic chance of winning is not there. Now, if the Democrats did something crazy, like during the Democratic National Convention, swapped out Joe Biden for RFK Jr., that would be wild. But I don't think they're going to do that because they can't control him. Democratic Party is all about control. When they can control Biden, they can control Harris. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. But it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. You're in Delaware County. Well, if anybody wants a used BMW, check out Mr. Real. Anybody looking for a used BMW? We're doing car sales here on the Kriss Pax portfolio, or the Kriss Pax live stream now. Car sales. I won't even take any commission for it. Anybody looking for a Beamer? Yeah, Tim, I know what you mean. Sure would be nice to get away, but ZRX, Olav asks. ZRX. I do not know what that is. Oh, it's the OX protocol? OX protocol. What a decent looking chart. It's been around since 2017. Up and down. You can buy it on Coinbase, Binance, OKX, Bybit, Upbit, Kraken, Gate. So trading on many of the big exchanges, if not all of them. Decentralized exchange infrastructure. Publicly owned open source project, permissionless to use, to build on, and to govern. Crappy website. Governance. They own a crap ton of Matic. Kind of interesting. Over $1.4 million of Matic. Kind of interesting. Well, good luck with that. You bought into Core. I saw that it priced at a pump, but I was just like, I'm good. I have enough. I've got enough. I'm not looking to get into new projects. I was looking at Ondo Finance. That was one. I was just like, God, that'd be cool, right? But I'm just like, no, I rebought into Stacks. It's one I already knew, was familiar with, and I think is going to do well. So I think I'm good. But good luck with your Core. You're selling a horse-drawn carriage. You like your Tesla? Never go back? That's what I hear. If you're in a decent state as far as weather, but up here in New England, there have been some bad stories. And I heard in the northern Midwest too, in the wintertime, a lot of people having problems with their Teslas. So, but you're anywhere in the South, California, I mean, Tesla would be the car to have. Absolutely. Doge and X Payments only me? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. X Payments now has 33 state licenses. Its latest was the state of California. So it's getting there for X Payments. We don't know what it'll take to actually use Doge on X still, but do I own stock in Tesla? Yes. On Webull, I invested heavily in Tesla. I have about 200 Tesla shares. that was most of the crypto that I had on Webull. I put it into Tesla stock because I wanted to buy it. This was a year and a half ago. This was a year and a half ago when Tesla's stock price went down to about $110. And I was like, I need to get that. That was just too good of a price. So here's the Tesla. Let me get to the Tesla. That was even longer than that. I need to go to the daily. That was down here. So that was January of 2023. This is the Webull chart. This is what I use to track stocks. And Tesla dropped from $196 in December of 2022 all the way down to 110, 109. I think the lowest on the dip was like 101. And I was like, I need to buy this. This to me was like signaling I need to buy Tesla stock. So yeah, so I bought like 200 shares for a little over 20,000. And now I'm up at like 50,000, over 50,000. It was much higher here because it went up, almost hit 300, came back down. But that's how the Tesla stock goes. But look at the run it's been on here over the past few weeks. Just big run back up. So that's my biggest stock holding outside of my 401k plan, which is heavily in Vanguard 500 and Russell 2000 is my 401k plan. So I have that to fall back on for retirement. So everything else is this is all my play money here. But yeah, the Tesla's nice. Yeah, I'm not messing around, Ryan. I'm all in. And it depends. When I get to the point where I'm ready to cash out completely and reuse all my funds for something else, there are some things I'd like to hold on to longer. It won't be most of the crypto except for Bitcoin and Doge, most likely. Everything else, most likely, I'm going to be selling in 2025. But I'll keep Bitcoin and Doge, some Doge. And the Tesla stock. I think I want to hold on to that. If I need to sell half of it, maybe I will. Keep 100 shares. Again, it depends on next year when I'm making all these decisions, right? It's going to be like, okay, what am I going to do? And some of this may have to go. We'll see. We will see. But I am not holding everything through another bear market. 2026 is not the year to be holding crypto. Again, I'm a believer in the 4-year cycles. 2026 would be the next bear market. I'm not holding through it. But that's just me. I mean, you do you. If you're holding even longer term and you just want to continue to hold, you can do that. But I'm planning on rebuying back in 2027, 2028. I'll be targeting to buy back in some crypto. But I am not holding it all through 2026. Again, I'll continue to hold on to some Bitcoin and some Doge just in case, have a little bit of exposure, just in case it's a 7-year cycle thing or some elongated thing, or we don't see as bad of a bear market as we did in 2022, maybe, but I'm not going to hold it all through. I got plans. Again, make a plan. What are you going to do? How high Jasmy short term? Yeah, we talked about that. So my big target is 30 cents. It's holding over 3 cents right now. I still think Jasmy is going to do a 10x this cycle to 30 cents. Where will I start selling and taking some profits? I don't know yet. I want to see how crazy this fall is and what's really going on overall. What's Bitcoin doing? What are the other major alts doing? Is there a specific bit of news on Jasmy integration that's going to propel it even higher, maybe to $1? It's like, I don't know yet. Going to be interesting to find new investments. A year from now, I'm going to be in a totally different position than I am right now. It's going to be a totally different position. Bull run's going to rotate everything back into Bitcoin. Not a bad play. That's what Michael Vanderpop is going to do as well. He's going to take all his alts, ride out the big alt season, and then rotate it all back into Bitcoin. That's his plan. Mike is in Chicago, and you've got a 3 and a Y. No issues. Nice. Again, I just hear stories. I don't personally own a Tesla, but I do read about it. It seems like I would just talk good about EVs because I own Tesla stock. Tony, have you been watching me? I'm a realist, right? I'm not a pump and dumper. I'm not all pump. So Tesla's going to do what Tesla's going to do. The EV part of their company is only one part of it. Optimus is going to take over. It's going to be huge. The holders aren't growing in Jasmy. Yeah, I think it was still early in the cycle, and I think this fall we're going to see a lot more new Jasmy holders coming in. You're happy with the 14-cent Doge gain this week? Just to start. This is nice though. Jasmy holding up at 305, holding 3 cents. Nice. Not retracing back. The Doge is, as expected, going to fall off a little bit. Again, if we can recover and get back in the 12.2s before the close in a couple hours, that'd be good. You will want to hold through 2026? No, I don't. In the 4-year cycles, as a reminder, the 4-year cycles in history, like in this for Bitcoin, again, altcoins could have a little bit of a lag from Bitcoin, but as we saw last cycle, Bitcoin hit its all-time high in November of 2021. And most alts had their all-time high earlier in 2021, like Dogecoin, VeChain, a bunch of others. hit earlier. I don't remember when the Cardano all-time high was in 2021. We'll take a look at that. But again, there have been 3 Bitcoin halvings. The all-time high was always in the year after the halving. Okay, so 2012 was the Bitcoin halving. 2013 was the all-time high for that cycle. And then there was a dip year. 2014, bear market year. 2014 into 2015. Big drops in the price of Bitcoin. 2016 was the next Bitcoin halving. The end of 2017 was the all-time high. But what happened in 2018? Big drop in the price of Bitcoin. The next Bitcoin halving, 2020, all-time high 2021. We just lived 2022. Bitcoin dropped all the way from 69K to 15.5. 15.5 at the end of 2022. So now we're here in 2024. It's the Bitcoin halving year. What has happened the past 3 times? Bitcoin has hit its all-time high, not in the halving year, but the year after. So it is expected, if history repeats, the high for Bitcoin in this cycle is going to be in 2025. And then in 2026, it's going to be a dip year. And what about the super cycle? Right now, there hasn't been one yet. If there is one this cycle, that would be different. I am not betting on it being different. I'm betting on it being a pullback year, just like the previous 3 dip years. And so, again, this is just me and what I'm doing. My plan is to take just about all of my crypto profits in 2025. Selling, I'm not holding through. If there's a super cycle and the crypto prices keep going up, great. I'll be happy with my profits. Again, I have plans of what I want to spend them on. And then I'll look later to buy back in on dips. If there's another bear market like we saw in 2022, then sometime in late 2026, maybe I'll be buying some good cheap coins. I don't know. But that's my plan. I'm a believer in the 4-year cycles until there's a super cycle or something that breaks this. Don't know. When in 2025? I don't know, Rocky. In 2021, we had a $64,000 all-time high in February, but then Bitcoin dropped, came back up into the 60s in late October and hit 69K in November of 2021. So for 2021, Q1 was looking like a possible all-time high for Bitcoin in Q1. However, in Q4, Bitcoin made another run and actually eclipsed the Q1 all-time high with a second one that was a little higher. Where in 2017, it wasn't until December of 2017 when Bitcoin hit 19,998 or whatever, almost $20,000 of Bitcoin. That was Q4 of 2017. So what's going to happen in 2025? We don't know yet. Could be Q1. There are many say this whole cycle is left translated because of the Bitcoin spot ETFs, causing an early run on the price of Bitcoin. And if it's left translated, that means Q1 of 2025 may be an all-time high for Bitcoin. And it doesn't recover it later in the year. That could happen. Which is why this fall, we're going to be talking about strategies for taking profits, because you don't know when the top is going to be. It could be in early 2025. It could be late in 2025, or as only me says, could be a super cycle and could just keep going up. We don't know. So the best you can do is come up with a strategy and play it. Play your strategy, play it out. Right now, my strategy is this 4-year cycle, and I will continue to trade it. And I'm sitting out 2026. Again, that's my strategy right now. Will things change when we get into 2025? Maybe, but I doubt it. I'm pretty convinced of this strategy. And I'm almost over a year and a half now into my conviction on this strategy. And if you have been watching me, following my videos for the past year and a half, you've heard me talk about this strategy again and again and again. And now here we are getting closer to this, eventual big run, late 2024 and into 2025. What all of this has been planning for, all of the accumulation that's been going on, is all leading up to this. I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, yeah, the dips we had like on July 4th, yeah, that sucks. I hate that, but it's all part of the process. Shakes out the weak hands, gets people all worried. The bigger picture is still there, though. And there's nothing that's changing that yet. Particularly if you've got the leading presidential candidate in the United States, who's now pro-Bitcoin. He's going to speak at the Bitcoin conference. He wants the miners, the mining companies of the United States, to be the ones who mine all the remaining Bitcoin. I mean, who else says that? That's pretty bullish. If Trump backs the dollar with Bitcoin when he gets into the office, everything will change forever. Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. In the end, Donald Trump still likes the almighty dollar, and he's going to do whatever he can to strengthen the dollar. But backing it with Bitcoin is not going to be a move that I see coming. As only me says, that's unlikely. And I agree, that's unlikely. He likes the technology. He likes, the blockchain and, the digital asset itself. He likes, but not tied to the dollar. I don't see that. But we are in exciting times, that's for sure. We missed a close one on Saturday. It could have gone the other way, and this could have been very bad. But that's life, right? We'll see. Exactly. Just like your 44K Bitcoin. We'll see. Trump will be good for crypto, but not because of any Trump coin. Absolutely not. He doesn't support anything like that. Oh, I see you just retracted that. But yeah. But not for that. No, he's not going to get involved in anything like that. There is a huge debt problem, and that is for sure. He's seen what other countries have done, like El Salvador and Argentina. Argentina just beginning to straighten up their country. We could see some changes happening in the United States if Trump is elected. Slimming down of government, that's probably coming. And part of that may be kind of painful because you end up with a lot of people out of work. from government jobs that they thought they'd be fat and happy in. But look at Argentina. They just cut all those jobs. So we can't have this in our government. Trump could consider doing things not quite that drastic, but somewhat. The country needs it. Absolutely needs it. We can't keep living with the debt that we have. Yeah, moving closer to accepting crypto. I agree with that. But not using it as an official currency. Again, the US dollar is the currency of the United States. And Trump will not want to do anything that negates that or works against that. I know we can't go on like this. It's a losing bet to have debt like that. It's a losing bet. Would not be good for the country, will not be good for the value of the dollar. Something's got to break this cycle that's just been building and building. That's why holding on to crypto is a good idea. And I will continue to hold on to Bitcoin and Dogecoin as my main two crypto holdings. Everything else, I'm going to be selling the top of the bull market. Will do my thing with dollars just to set me safe for my future. But I will always have Bitcoin and Dogecoin in my portfolio. And we'll see on the stock side whether I can hold on to Tesla, what's going to happen with MicroStrategy. I can't wait for the MicroStrategy stock split coming up in a couple weeks, 3 weeks. It's going to be the MicroStrategy 10-for-1 stock split. So my 4 MicroStrategy shares are going to turn into 40. I don't know, Tony. I think there's a real interest there. I think Trump has a real interest in the future of the country and isn't just saying this because that's what you want to hear. I know, and that's the big difference between crypto and stocks, right? Crypto can turn around green very quickly, and stocks are generally pretty slow moving. I mean, it used to be 8 to 10% a year. 8 to 10% per year was a good return in the stock market. 8 to 10% in a year. And Jasmy's up 24% today. 24% today. Floki, 19%. Pepe, 18%. Whiff, 21%. Right? That's like 2 years of gains in the stock market in one day in crypto. I talk about politics only as it is related to crypto and finances. That's it. I draw the line there. Yeah, I believe that. The world is changing, becoming more digital. Yep. Oh, we got liquidations going on. What just happened? What's going on, guys? We got spikes going on. Bitcoin just jumped up over 64K. Look at that. We just had a nice little pump. Just liquidated some more big Bitcoin positions. Lots of them. I'm looking at the liquidations here. Woo! $5.2 million liquidation on Binance. 64,000. Right there. Just happened. They just took out on Binance a $5.2 million short. You want to know what's running the crypto market? And again, I've said this again and again. It's the market makers. The market makers run the crypto market, particularly when volume starts ticking down. They wanted to take out that $5 million short on Binance. And so they did it. They pumped the price up. They take out that short position, $5 million. And they're like, yep, took care of that. That's what it's about, is right there. And they'll continue to pump the price up. The more big, heavy gamble shorts are there to liquidate. And then what are they going to do? Then they're going to drop it to start liquidating all the big longs that are set up. That's what this is about, right there. Let's go. Let's go. I want to see $72,000 Bitcoin. That's what I want to see. Let's start wiping out. Yep, the bear trap, it's working. Don't go leverage trading. Exactly what Bull Run says. You'll get liquidated. You open a leverage position right now, the price is going to drop down and it's going to take out your loss. It'll find it. Well, most of you guys probably aren't doing $1 million leverage bets, but the ones that are, those are the ones they're going to go hunting for. Tony, look up Trump met with the leaders of Clean Spark and either Marathon or Riot. I forget which one. He had a meeting with them, talked about blockchain technology and mining. He met with them. He gets it. Look up that in Google. BTC to 72K and Doge at 25 cents. I'll take that. Yes, I will take that. Yeah, I'm feeling better. Actually, drinking a beer tonight. First beer I've had in a week and a half. Thank you. Kind of warm now. Ugh. You think Bitcoin will hit 100K this year? Could. It could. JD Vance has about $250,000 worth of Bitcoin. So what is that, about four? About four Bitcoins? He's a whole coiner then. 4 coins, not bad. Coming for that leverage position. That's what they do. They go hunting for them. They go hunting for them. Looks like we touched 1230. Still have just less than 2 hours till the daily close. The market makers aren't corrupt. That's just how it works. They're not corrupt. They just don't want you to win. They are in it for their own exchange, not losing money. And it's been that way from the start. Binance is just as bad as it. I mean, FTX did the same thing. They can move the price on their exchange, and they do it. That's why Gary Gensler doesn't like them. But he has no control over Binance. Binance is not in the United States. Coinbase is, and now you can do futures trading on Coinbase, but Coinbase has to watch themselves, and they can't play those games like OKX and Bybit and those others who aren't based in the United States. Let's go. 1231. 1232. I want to see more shorts liquidated. Let's go. There was just a $434,000 Dogecoin short that just happened on Dogecoin. Right there. $434,000 bet on Doge. And that was on OKX. Look at that. Was that one of you guys? Was that one of you guys? Did you do that? Doge, $434,000 short. Gone. Who's shorting Doge right now? Somebody just lost big. Not as big as the $5 million short on Bitcoin, but still. Oh, Ryan. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Sorry, dude. Guess you're not going to be a millionaire. Crypto's feeling like a horse race. Money's on Doge. Doge and Jasmy. Jasmy, big winner today. Now up 25.8%. Jasmy. That's the big winner of the day. Jasmy. Doge is here, 7.4%. I mean, Pepe's 20, but Jasmy, 25. Things are getting frothy here. We're seeing some big price movement up and down now, so they can take out longs and shorts. I know, Fuzzball. That's what I've been saying. But I know you guys here don't trade with leverage. Every once in a while, someone comes on here and starts talking about leverage trading, and I'm like, yeah, be careful. George at Cryptos R Us has wiped out a lot of people on his channel by doing all that leverage trading. I know, Rocky. My end of month prediction, which for the past few weeks was actually looking very bullish, now might end up being a little too conservative at 13 cents. We still have half the month to go. For those wondering what I'm talking about, it's this white line here. This was my monthly price prediction for Doge. From July 1st, I thought we would trade up a bit over 12.5 and then we would dump. I missed the dump by a couple days. And the dump was deeper than I thought it was going to be because I thought we were going to be able to hold that 11.5 cent support. But all that Germany Bitcoin selling pump or dumped the Bitcoin price. I mean, look at the huge dump in the price of Bitcoin. There's no way Doge could survive that. So Doge went down too. But doesn't change the 13 cent still by the end of the month prediction. But the way Doge is trading back up here, this is looking pretty strong. That's pretty strong. We might be able to hold 1230 for tonight. There's a nice recovery here. Again, the market makers are taking out more short positions at higher prices. A huge short squeeze this summer would be awesome. Huge short squeeze. Get Bitcoin up to 72K. Squeeze out those shorts up there. I love it. I love it. Because all we've been talking about for 2 months are leveraged longs getting liquidated as prices have been going down lower and lower and lower. Nice to see it the other way now. Nice to see it the other way. Take out the shorts. Let's have a big short squeeze. That was this Daily Hodl article here from earlier today. Bitcoin flies over $63,000, liquidating short sellers. As legendary trader Peter Brandt says that a bear trap is confirmed. Trapped those bears big time. And now they're taking out those big leveraged short positions. Nice. Oh, they will. Bull run. There are leveraged longs being open right now, which wouldn't surprise me. We would see a quick dip down to take out those new leveraged longs and then go right back up. That's what happens. I'll bet you before tonight's over, Bitcoin drops back below 63, probably 63.7, 63.6. At least that low. And it may be fast. Just dip down, take out those new leveraged longs, and then go right back up. That'll probably happen. Yeah, bear trap. Bears are too busy getting wrecked to be in the chat. Only a few bears show up here. Alex was one of them. There's another guy. I can't think of his name right now. He shows up every now and then. He's a perma bear. I don't know why. Still thinks Doge is going to like 6 cents or 5 cents. I'm like, hey, good luck, buddy. Good luck with that. Jack, that's his name, Jack. You never see Jack show up when there's green candles in the market. But as soon as there's red ones, then Jack shows up and says, yeah, see, I told you, Doge going back to 5 cents. It's like, yeah, good luck, Jack. Good luck, buddy. George? George's all right. Cryptos are us. George is all right. He just was doing YouTube at the right time, in 2017 when crypto was hopping, right? Was in the right place at the right time, started talking crypto, almost all Bitcoin. And then during the bear market, the first bear market, he just studied and read up on other cryptos and altcoins and was investing. And he's very knowledgeable. And now, I mean, he's pretty rich because he's made so much money because his YouTube channel blew up. He's got over like 700,000 subs. So he makes a lot of money on YouTube. Makes a lot of money. He's got a brand new house now, all paid for by his YouTube. So, but he's a permabull. Always, except when there's a crash, right? It's either a crash, like one day, and then he'll do 2 weeks of all, Bitcoin going to 100K, 200K, a million, right? And then there'll be one day again where it's a crash. That's George. You take him for what it is, right? But religiously, he streams twice a day, every day, and then once a day on the weekends. He's been doing it for years and years and years, built up a big following doing that. So good for him for that. He gets stuck in his ways, though, a lot of times. Like he'll have an opinion about a crypto, and he just never changes. And Dogecoin, he flip-flops all the time. He'll be pro Dogecoin for a while, and then he'll be anti Dogecoin. He really flip-flops on Doge. What's up? The guy with the sunglasses and leather jacket in picture comments on everyone's Doge videos. That's probably the Jack guy, right? If it's the guy who's the perma bear, it's probably him. I don't know. 1288 Doge opportunities. Right now we're 1231. Do I think that the results of this election cycle will dramatically affect the crypto market? We are going to be in bull market. Bull market. Trump wins, bull market. Trump takes office in January, bull market. But then there's going to be a big retrace somewhere. It's going to happen. Again, it's a buy the rumor, sell the news, right? So sometime after Trump takes office, there'll probably be a big pullback. That's what we'll be looking for, most likely. So yeah, ATM, that's exactly what we're just talking about. But then somewhere a couple more months down the road in 2025, it'll probably pick right back up. Now, will it be like 2021? We've got 2 peaks, one in February and then one again not until November. We could. Something like that could happen. Dogecoin can hit 70 cents again easily, Free says. Easily 70 cents. The dollar is the one that's going to be tough to get past. I am Northwoods. It certainly makes the week more fun when you have green candles on the charts. It was a long couple months. Actually, 3 months. April, May, and June were long months of not a lot positive. Yeah, Tony, take a look. Trump met with the leaders of the big Bitcoin mining firms in the United States. And after that, he made a statement about wanting all the Bitcoin yet to be mined to be done here in the United States. Something like that, which of course isn't realistic because there are miners all over the world. But for the next 100 years, there's going to be Bitcoin mining. At least for the next 4, he will support Bitcoin miners in the United States. You watch George once every 2 or 3 weeks if there's something important. Sometimes I'll just catch him like at 9:30 in the morning if I'm just sitting here waiting for something else to happen at work. I'll just put George on in the background, see what he has to say. Sometimes I catch him at night too. Nothing regular. You want to sell when I sell? Okay, well, this fall, I will be talking about my crypto selling strategy. It's not going to be all in one day, but it will be a strategy. So you think as soon as Trump is in office, there will be a dump? That's not right. Yep. I do. It'll be exactly the opposite of what people expect. That's the way the markets work. If you're absolutely 100% certain that something is going to happen, it's certainly not going to happen that way. If there's anything I've learned after all these years of investing in the markets, that's it right there. So there you go. Dogecoin has been a top 10 crypto for over a decade. Don't underestimate the Doge. That is true, Frank. That is true. And I say that all the time. Now, there was a patch in about 2019 where Doge dropped down into the 20s. It wasn't always a top 10. So just to clarify your statement, for most of those 10 years, it's been a top 10. But there was a bit where it was lagging back. I think it was in 2019 where it had dropped down into the 20s, maybe even hit 30. But it came back in 2020. You're going to sell some at 30 cents? Right. I've been talking about 35 cents as my first target of selling some, but too early to get into those details yet. Frank thinks Doge will 5x after the election. Takes it to what, 60 cents? 60-cent Doge is good. If it's still at this price then, which it won't be, it'll be much higher come November. Oh, 1288 is your line where anything below it is a deal. I get it, Joe. 12,888. Anything below is a deal, according to Joe. You know, Rocky, Doge is not far from Toncoin again. We looked at this earlier. Let me update this. See what we got. Past 24 hours, Doge is up 7%. Toncoin is up 3%. 17.9 to 19.1, so just about 1.2 billion between the two. Doge is catching back up. Catching back up. We could see that in this next week. And I was still predicting Cardano would flip over Doge. And that might still happen. But it's not going to be in the next week. Cardano moves a little slower. $12.34. Look at that. That is such a strong chart. That's just a beautiful chart. Just slow and steady gains and just popping off. Like 3 out of every 4 candles is like a green candle, just about. This is on a 15-minute chart. That's just beautiful. How coins with smaller market caps are worth more money? It's all based on the quantity of tokens that they actually have. That's all it is. I'm tapped. Won't be able to buy more Doge until August. I know, doesn't that suck? You see a buying opportunity and you're like, oh, I wish I had more cash to buy more. I know, right? I have more money coming in about a week. I got to wait 1 more week. Doge could be already over 13 cents in a week. It'll be over Joe's 12,888 number. We'll see what I do. Fuzzball 1233. Let's stay above that. I'll go for that. Let's go. That's what I say. Thank you, EK. Appreciate it. Glad to be here. Everybody hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And always consider joining the channel. Let's see what our portfolio is up to now. 22,600. We've gained $300 just during the stream. Up $300 just during the stream. And again, this 75,000 Dogecoin right here, I am giving away. ETH just had a $1.7 million short liquidated on ETH. Now they're going after ETH. Look at that. What did I say at the beginning of the stream earlier? This 3450 line was resistance, right? What just happened? Market makers pushed ETH up to wipe out a $1.7 million short above the resistance line. Guys, I've been telling you, these numbers are not random. They're based on the leverage bets that these big time leverage traders put out there. This was on OKX, $1.7 million. Right here. $1.7 million short just got liquidated at a price of $34.80. And now there's Bitcoins. Look at them all. Big, leveraged. 500,000, 640,000. Yeah. Let's go. Doge up over 1240 now. Let's go. Squeeze out the shorts. Squeeze them out. Hey, low rollers in the house. Welcome. I've already been on for a couple hours. 3 hours. Jeez, the stream is almost 3 hours long. Wow. Pepe to the moon. A nice day's work. Oh, that's the $300 for the portfolio. I'll take it. Personal portfolio, I'm up big. Hey, all the money joined the channel. Thank you, sir. Welcome. Welcome to the family. Going to get some Dogecoin from me. I know when we rocketed to 22 cents in February, everyone thought that was a parabolic run. We should have never even been that high. That was all because of the Bitcoin ETFs. Spot on. I agree. I agree. Woohoo! Let's go. 1241. Always keeping up with the Doge news here and keeping it real, Joe. That's what we do here. You got to watch some of those other channels. They don't always keep it real. You're welcome, Pietro. BitConnect? Are you kidding me? Low roller? BitConnect? You can actually still trade that crap? Wow. So the talk of desire from investors for a Doge ETF is true. How do you buy an ETF? So you basically buy an ETF on like a stock exchange that trades ETFs is how you buy it. So like right now, if you wanted to buy the Bitcoin ETF, you can't because the stock market is closed. So right now you can only buy Bitcoin spot ETFs. You can't buy anything else. ETH should be starting soon. Don't know when. There are 2 applications in for a Solana ETF, which would take a minimum of 6 months to get approved. Nobody has made an application for a Dogecoin ETF yet. That comes on the backs of the big firms like the BlackRocks, Fidelities, those that are money managers, have big hedge funds, have lots of clients, and their clients would be needing to tell them that they want access to something like Doge. So I think the chances of a Dogecoin ETF at this point in time is pretty small. It's pretty small. Because that's got to come from the wealthy investors need to be telling their fund managers that they want it. And I don't think you're going to be hearing that. Yeah, we were talking about that 3 hours ago, low roller. Bitcoin and crypto pumping, along with the crypto-related stocks also, like MicroStrategy had a great day today, Coinbase and others. Good day all around. Glad Trump is okay. Feel sorry for the family of the man who died. Of course, that is tragic. But overall, this has been very bullish for crypto. Very bullish. Big day. $12.42. Now we're up to $12.43. Still moving up. Here we go. Needs to break 12.8. Well, my blue line is 12.5, Rocky. This is the 12.5 line. I've had this line on here for months. 12.5 is your resistance. We can actually zoom out and look at that. Yeah, that was back here in June. Nice to know we're back up at that level, though. Now we need to get back up near the 16-cent range to be back in May's range. But on the daily, that's a nice big green candle. 1244. Yeah, we were looking at the Cardano closing in, and Dogecoin actually has spread that out, and Dogecoin is now getting closer to Toncoin to take over number 8. So look at that one, low roller. The Dogecoin giveaway is happening at the top of the bull market when I sell everything else in this portfolio. This is, I put in $10,000 last summer. We bought a bunch of crypto. It now has a value of $22,000. 41% of it is Dogecoin that's in this portfolio. I will be giving away most of this 75,000 Doge. I still have to pay taxes on my profits, but we'll be giving away this Dogecoin. I'm not going to be selling it. This Dogecoin is not going to be sold. I'm giving it away to those that join the YouTube channel. That's how you enter, is by joining the channel. And you go to my YouTube channel, and it says our members right here. It says our members. And then you come over here and you click join, and you join the channel. When you join the channel, you get a check mark next to your name. Your name is in green in the chat. And you get to use these fun little custom emojis that are not available to anybody else. So you got to do something to get something. Most likely, the Dogecoin you receive is going to far outpace how much you pay for a membership. And especially if you have the conviction that Dogecoin is going to go as high as you think it is, this bull market, the Doge you get will significantly be more than what you pay for the membership. But you got to do something to get something. I'm not just doing free giveaways. You got to do something to get something. 1246. Doge is getting closer and closer. Time flies when you're having a good day. Green candles making money. Volks has 1.6 million Doge, 2 million Jasmy, LFG. That's a nice portfolio, dude. Very nice. It's looking like it, pork chop. It feels like the we are back kind of vibes. I should not do that BitConnect clip, Ryan. If I do the BitConnect clip, it's going to blow everybody's eardrums. I haven't done clips in a while, but I do have a BitConnect clip. Doesn't matter how long we're doing it together. Exactly. Crypto's big drop has been over 3 months now. Over 3 months. Dogecoin hit 22 cents back in March, late March. They're trying to crash the ETH ETF to get cheaper prices. Interesting. Could be. BlackRock wanted to scoop up a bunch of cheaper ETH. Kriss live on the Doge show. I'm not always positive, Frank. if it's looking negative, I'll say it. And there were a lot of those the past few months. I was not always a moon boy. No. Right now, and as I've been saying for the past day, is like the charts are looking really good right now, and the charts still look good. And of course, bull run does have the warning. Still can't get too excited, even with all the green candles. Got to keep the emotions leveled. And that's true. And Jasmy, yeah, we've been watching Jasmy. We watched Jasmy go over 3 cents earlier in the stream. What's it up to now? 311. Nice. Yeah, we were live here a little over an hour ago when Jasmy made this big green candle here, pumped up over 3 cents. Nice. Accumulate and store on your ledger, which that's what I do. Here's my ledger right here. If any of you are interested in a ledger hardware wallet, I have a link in the description below. Just follow my link and check out Ledger hardware. I've not heard back from the crypto.com marketing rep yet on my crypto.com association. See what happens. As I said earlier on JD Vance, I'm very interested in just hearing his speech, hearing what he has to say. And I will reserve my judgment until then. I know the 200-day moving average at 13 cents. We were watching that earlier in the stream. That's the target. Well, he already picked JD Vance, military jock. That's the news. JD Vance is going to be Trump's vice president. I know. What was up with XRP, low roller? It's like XRP all of a sudden started going up. I mean, still a stable coin, still just back up into the 50s. The GoFundMe for the victims at the Pennsylvania rally are already $3 million. Wow, that's awesome. Aren't people are great, you know, at a time like that, those poor families, particularly the one where the father died. I mean, just tragic. People are awesome, though. Ryan's a member. Do you want the BitConnect clip? God. Okay, guys, hold your ears. BitConnect history. Are you ready? Where is that? There it is. Here it comes. Ready? BitConnect! There you go. You gotta love it. Waiting for spell token to drop to 0 again. Yeah, we'll see. The JV dance. Doge is anything but a stable coin. Doge moves. XRP doesn't. What the hell did I just watch? Exactly, Rocky. Look up the history of BitConnect someday. Talk about a Ponzi scheme. Oh my God. BitConnect was a Ponzi scheme. I guess you couldn't buy BitConnect, the token, on an exchange. You could only buy it through other people. And so it was a big pyramid. Something like that. Again, I wasn't around at that time, but craziness. And then you became part of this whole community, and wow. And that came crashing down. Pepe crushing it on volume. I know. Pepe has just been big selling. Big trading, I mean. Buying and selling on Pepe. Yep. Look at ETH, 34.75. So I haven't heard about those ETH ETFs and when they're actually starting. Yeah, that guy on BitConnect, he was a hype man. His name was Carlos, if I remember something. He was into it. He was into it. The Bone token going up. Look at that. There's a big move. Bone token. SHIB is slowly moving up. Let's see what else is making big moves right now. 24-hour chart. Oh, Jasmy's number one. Look at that. In the top 100 over 24 hours, Jasmy number one, Whiff number two, Pepe number three, Floki number four, and Brett is number five. How about that for a top five for movers? But Jasmy, I mean, we've been talking about Jasmy a lot on this channel, and you had a nice chance of a dip down into the twos, and that could be it. Now it could be just look out. We'll see whether there's another dip down in the twos or not, but there may not be. And here's Pepe at 11 now. So Pepe dropped at zero it had the other day, and now it's like, yeah, ball run to the moon. Look at Pepe starting to move. 20% for the day. Let's go. Which ones are the losers for the past 24 hours? Stellar. Oh, XLM. I hope you guys don't have XLM. Somebody was asking me about that last week or the week before. And I was like, no, you do not want XLM. Tron, Monero. These are the things you don't want to be in. XLM, Tron, and Monero. Again, hey, if you're in them, good luck. I'm not touching them. Not touching them. BitConnect. All right, I'm going to call it a stream, guys. It's been fun. Look, a good day. We want to see Doge just keep gradually going up. No big spikes. Just gradually moving up. That would be great. Continue to take out the shorts. Continue to squeeze out the shorts as we keep going up. That will be awesome. I don't know what's going up with Toncoin. Again, Toncoin moves a lot up and down depending on its use on Telegram. But I don't know why it goes on runs for a while and then it doesn't do anything for a while. I don't understand it. Again, I'm not on Telegram, so I don't really follow it that much, Jock, but do some research on it and you can figure that out. I'm not going to invest in it. I mean, now it's too late for me. It's already a number 8 coin. I'm not going to get into it now. But again, that's just me. But we'll be watching Doge. We'll be live again Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Well, probably 4 again. I started a little bit earlier today just because the markets were doing so great. So yeah, target 4 o'clock on Wednesday for next live stream. Until then, I hope everyone has a great evening. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.